Hello and welcome back again in Agile with Anirban channel. Okay, and today we are going to discuss about another interesting topic, the prioritization. Who are dealing with agile project or any kind of project, right, where you have a set of requirements in terms of user story, in terms of use cases, in terms of features. There you definitely need to know or need to apply certain prioritization technique based on which you can decide which one, which use case, which feature, which user story I will be doing first, and so and so forth, right? So this is the topic we have as part of our today's discussion, and I'm sure it is going to be interesting one. So without any further delay, let us get started. Okay, okay, friend. So without any delay, let us get started. So as part of this discussion, I have actually sorted out three prioritization technique, and also will be touching upon few other prioritization technique that as and when will have some correlation to draw, right? So without any delay, let us get started. So as part of my first selection, I have this prioritization technique. Uh, all of you, right, or most of you have already at least heard this name, right? WSJF, weighted shortest job fast, right? This is a like widely used prioritization technique, especially like when we are working in a scaled agile kind of environment, right? When multiple teams are working, there are multiple stakeholders, right? It's not a single team that is actually delivering the value. It is jointly, like multiple teams are delivering value along with different coordination, cooperation, and all these things, right? So in those kind of environment, right, WSJF is a very powerful and what I would say, right, useful technique. So let us see, right, first get into the uh, derivation, right, how WSJF get calculated, right? Then I'll slowly try to give you the correlation. So here in your screen you can see, right, WSJF basically cost of delay divided by job size or job duration. Here you can see like how long the job will take, right, or the size of the job you can see, right? Here job means you can consider it as the user story, you can consider it as any piece of requirement, like be it a user story, be it a like a peak, be it a feature, whatever it is, right? You can do estimation of any of the requirement piece, right? User story, epics, feature, or any of the jobs, right? And cost of delay, right? Starting from end, right? If when you started the job till or rather when you are supposed to start the job and till the point you are completing the job, within that specific time, what will be the cost, right, of delay? That means until and unless you are delivering the job, what will be the cost of delay, right? That is your cost of delay. Now if you look here, cost of delay calculation, they are basically done based on the three parameters, right? One is user business value, another is time criticality, another is basically risk reduction and opportunity. Now all these parameter here I'm talking about, right, those are all relative parameter, right? We do the like relative estimation. We means like it can be PO, it can be the proxy PO, or the business folks, right, who actually get involved into the calculation of business value, time criticality, and risk reduction. Now these are all business value. Basically you can consider a number in scale of 1 to 10, right? And it is a relative numbering or relative ranking, you can say, right? With feature number A versus feature number B, right? What are the business criticality or business value? That means if this feature is not getting delivered, right, what will be the potential impact? What will be the penalty clause involved into it? What will be the significance, right? And all this considering different parameters, right? Uh, PO or business user gives a certain rating or ranking, right? That business value, we term those as a business value rating, right? And this is relative rating. Now I'll take a small pause here, right? Here this is the point basically I'm referring, right? That business value, right? Now Slightly I am digressing from the topic, from WSJF to another estimation or prioritization technique, right? So these business value, like we have another very simple prioritization technique. I don't have this covered in as part of this discussion, but just wanted to touch upon, right? There is a prioritization technique called relative sizing prioritization, okay, or relative prioritization technique. There, this particular parameter, that means this business value get identified, or you give the business value ranking for different requirement pieces, like similar to this one, right? Be it a user story, be it a feature, be it a epic, whatever it is, right? You give business values, or you based on the business value you do the stack ranking, and you picked up based on the that stack rank, right? Whichever is having the highest business value, you picked up that item for delivering first, right? So in that prioritization technique, that is basically the relative prioritization technique. There only these parameter take into consideration business value, and business value similar to this particular piece, right? Business value basically get calculated uh, based on the different parameter, right? As I mentioned, uh, uh, the business significance, then criticality of this piece, right? If it is not done, what will be the penalty clause, and all so and so forth, right? Different depending on the different business significance, this business value get assigned by pure business persons. Okay. Now coming back to this WSJF discussion, right? Uh, Beside business value, there is another parameter take into consideration for cost of delay, that is time criticality, right? If this is not done within this span of time, let's say during the holiday season, or during Christmas, right? A particular product is not launched, right? Then there will be a huge business impact, right? If it is getting launched in some other time of the year, then it will basically not have that significance, or it will not be able to uh, get business that much. So that is the time criticality, and based on these time criticality parameter, here also again we do a relative sizing between the different piece, different user story or different features, and give a rating same way, from 1 to 10 scale, 10 being the highest. Okay. Now last but not the least is basically the risk reduction and the future opportunity. This is interesting, right? Based on, right, if this particular user story is getting implemented, or if this particular feature is getting implemented, then what sort of risk it is going to reduce, or what are the opportunities it's going to basically open up for the business. Based on these parameter, again a stack ranking we do, right? And in the same scale, and that is again the relative stack ranking in the scale of 1 to 10, and we give a number. And considering all these three parameter, cost of delays are getting calculated. I'll give you an example, and that will clarify this entire piece in more granularities, right? So let us see. Okay, now let us consider we have three features, right? Feature A, feature B, and feature C, right? Then PO or business people given the, you can consider this feature A, feature B, feature C, with or correlate these three feature with any of your real-time feature, like let us consider A is basically a login feature, right? B is a search feature, or something of that sort. Okay. Now let's say PO or business people given, considering all the parameter criticality, then whether penalty clause will be there or not, depending on all the parameter, business people or PO given the business value for of 5, right, to the feature A, right? Similarly, time criticality, the ranking has been given as 4, and PR and OE, that means risk reduction and opportunity enablement, has been given as 1. Now now how it is getting calculated. Similarly for B and C also, right? This particular piece, just a second, hold on. Okay, so similarly for B, it is given as 2 1 1, right? And the calculation is simple, as I mentioned, right? Here we have seen, right, this plus this, right? These three are basically summed up to uh, get the cost of delay, right? Here now, based on the business value, time criticality, PR and we got the cost of delay for the three features. Now we have another parameter in our hand, that is basically the job duration, right? The size of the job, or how long it will take to complete the job. Let's say A is having a job duration of 1. We can consider this as 1 day, right? For just sake of our discussion, it can be 1 hour, it can be 1 month, but for our discussion, let us consider it as 1 day, right? Now that means the WSJF is basically 10 divided by 1 is equal to 10. Similarly here, if the cost of delay is 4, our job duration is 4, so if we divide 4 by 4, it will become 1. And similarly here for feature 3, the cost of delay is 3, job duration is 10, and if we divide these two, then WSJ is equal to 0.3. Now let us see, right, how you will select the job which need to be prioritized, and we need to do it first. Now I have actually, this picture will clarify the entire thing. Now this diagram, right, or this x-axis and y-axis thing, x-axis is actually denoting the cost of delay, okay, and y-axis is denoting the duration, okay. Now I have taken this ABC3 feature, right. Let's see, if I do this particular feature A first, right, then what will happen from starting, it will take let's say 1 day, as I mentioned, right? And until and unless you are delivering A, the cost of delay are getting incurred. That means for 1 day, this 10 cost of delay is getting incurred. Okay, and as soon as you deliver A, this cost of delay will no longer be there. Then the next immediate WSJP is basically B. So here for B, the cost of delay is basically this much, right? 4 cost of delay, isn't it? 4. And you will take 4 days of time to deliver B, right? 4 days of time to deliver B. And until and unless you are delivering B, your this cost of delay is getting incurred, right? Similarly, for C, if you do actually for C, the cost of delay, ideally here we should have a like a cost of delay line, right? Please excuse, right? You can consider this amount of cost of delay, but it is so negligible that is why it is not getting appear, right? So you can consider in this way. Okay. Now that means if you do the feature A at first, right, then B, then C, your cost of delay will be less. Let us compare, right? Let us see other side of it, right? If we do C first, then B, then A, what will happen, right? So if you do C first, right, you have a cost of delay for A and B both incurred, right, till this time, along with C's cost of delay also, right, till this point of time. That means till C is getting completed, right? Then you are picking up B. So till this point of time, B is getting completed, A's cost of delay is getting incurred, right? Then you are picking up the task A. That means if you pick up the lowest wsjf item first, it will have lot more cost of delay impact in the system, right? And that is the thing you need to consider, that you need to reduce the cost of delay, and that is the reason you this based on this wsjf calculation, you picked up the highest wsjf item first. Okay, I hope this is clarified. If you have any question, any doubt, please drop me a message in terms of the comment box. I'll try to get back. Okay, now let us see another very simple, like I started with a complex one where multiple teams are involved, where we are working in a scaled model. Now let us see another prioritization technique which can be used in smaller scale also. If one team is working there also, you can use this, right? That, and you are, I am pretty sure, right, you are familiar with this technique, Moscow. But here I'll show you how in practical world you can actually start using this. So Moscow, I don't have much to say here. Aim stand for basically must have. So these are the feature or user stories which are non-negotiable, right? You have to have this in your application, right? So these are the must to have feature, right? Then your S is basically should have. So these are the feature, right? It can go in next sprint or next release. You cannot ignore this feature, but you can actually deprioritize it, like after M, right? These are all value added feature. But having said that, you cannot launch this product at its entirety without this feature, right? Because these features are should have feature, and without this feature the product, overall product cannot be launched, but it can be prioritized after must have feature, right? Now the C1, right? These are the could have feature, right? If time permits, you should do all three of them. If you have some time criticalities, you need to launch the application or launch the product by this time, then you should consider M first, S first, and along with M and S, you can launch the product, and C you can consider for day 2. I'm just giving you a hypothetical scenario. Or if you do not have any day 2 kind of scenario, you can keep them for the last release, right? Now W is basically will not have or would have. That means this feature is not in your priority list at all, right? You may or may not release the product based on your capacity, based on your available commitment, or based on your available bandwidth, or based on your commitment towards clients, right? You actually can decide, right? If let's say the entire product you need to launch by so and so date, and by that date all these are basically done, and you have certain time in your hand and also certain money reserved, right? At that point of time you can consider this W kind of features, right? Now let's see, this is how you can, for your particular project, you can maintain a like board, kanban board sort of, right? Where you have 4 columns, M, S, right? M, then S, then C, then W, right? And you can plug your story card or feature card, right? Let's say 5 stories are M, right? Then your 4 stories are basically S, which we should have. Then 3 stories are basically, let's say, the could have, and 2 are won't have, right? And you start picking up. You need to first finish this all this M, then you can go for S, then you can go for C, and if at all time permits, you will go for W, else you will keep them aside. So this is your Moscow technique, right? Now let us see another technique. That will be a little complex one in terms of understanding, but a very useful one in terms of customer satisfaction. That is your kano technique. So friend, let us try to understand this in details. This will be interesting, and at the same time understanding may be very difficult, so I'll request you to follow me closely. And again, like for any question, give your comment, or if you have any different opinion, give your comment as well. Okay, now without any monologue, let us get started. Here kano technique is basically talks about the customer satisfaction. If you are implementing a product, and inside that product if you are implementing certain feature, how satisfied the customer is. So it can be classified in two axes, right? X-axis and Y-axis. X-axis, the upper half of the X-axis is talking about highly satisfied, okay, and lower half is talking about highly dissatisfied, okay. And sorry, this y-axis, x-axis, right? Then y-axis, here this right hand side, extreme right hand side is talking about the functionality is present, that means functionality is implemented, right? And it is talking about the functionality is absent, that means functionality is not implemented, right? Now let us see, okay, this this is the line, right? This line you can consider, right? If this is getting implemented, right, that means slowly when you start implementing, at the beginning it is not there, right? At the beginning it is not there, so customer is highly dissatisfied, right? Then if you start implementing this particular feature, just follow my pen, right, where I'm moving this particular feature, the customer satisfaction is getting increased, but it is not going up to the highly satisfied level, because these are the base feature, right? You, in a particular application, you have to have this feature. For an example, let's say you are booking a hotel, right? So you will consider, by default you will consider the hotel room will be neat and clean, right? So this is nothing extraordinary you are asking for, right? A neat and clean hotel room you will look for, and if you get a neat and clean hotel room, you will not be amazed, right? Oh, nice neat and clean room, no, right? But if the hotel room is not neat and clean, then you will be extremely dissatisfied. So this kind of feature, that means which have to be there, is are the basic feature. You need to implement this feature, right? Then there are a linear feature, or where as and when you are start implementing, right, your customer satisfaction is getting increased, okay. Here let us again see the same example of the hotel room, right? Let's say you have a neat and clean hotel room, you are okay. I mean, your base expectation or base need is fulfilled. Now, if you have a bigger hotel room, right, neat and clean, you will be more satisfied. You have even more bigger hotel room, you will be more satisfied. So, these are the feature. As and when you are basically start implementing, the customer satisfaction is getting increased. If it is not there, then customer will not satisfied. Similar, right? Now, these are the feature, these green line, right? If it is not implemented, then customers are not dissatisfied, okay. That means customers are not actually expecting this feature, right? But if you implement this, right, it is an excitement for them, right? We can say these are the wow feature, okay. These are the wow feature. For example, again, let us take when a customer actually entering into the hotel room, he or she booked the hotel room based on the need, right? And he was not expecting a mini freeze in the hotel room. But if it is there and lot of chocolates and cold drinks, those are actually like filled up in that room, and it is said that all of them are free of cost, right? Since you booked the room, it's yours. Customer will be amazed. They will be excited, and they will say, "Wow, this is the feature I was not expecting, but it is there. I am simply excited. It's a wow feature for me." So those kind of in your application also you can consider, right, this kind of feature. So these are your wow feature, right? Now this another interesting thing is basically the reverse, okay, where if these features are present, customers will be dissatisfied, okay, and customer don't want this feature at all. For example, again I'm going back to the hotel room, right? Let's say customer has actually booked a mountain facing hotel room, right? But it has a window with a pre-installed curtain in it, which is actually blocking the view, and it is in a way installed. You, it is actually giving some beautification inside the room, but it is not allowing customer to open it up to see the mountain view. Customer will not be satisfied, right? We don't want this feature. You want a clean window without this type of curtain in it. He can simply open up the window and see the mountain view, right? So those are the feature he don't want, right? Those are the reverse feature. That means we need to think about that also, right? We cannot sugarcoat. We cannot give some additional things, right, which is not required by customer. Okay, so this kano technique is a very good and useful technique when a PO or business analyst actually getting into a discussion or conversation with the business users to understand their satisfaction level, their need, and based on that they decide the feature and get it prioritized, right? For example, this base feature you have to prioritize, right, at beginning, right? Even if customers are not getting wow, but without the base feature you cannot even go live also, right? So those should be your priority one feature. Then obviously the linear feature, right? As and when you start implementing, customer excitement is getting increased. Then you can think about the wow feature, right? That's green line. And if you have certain reverse feature, you simply should discard those from your priority list. Okay. So this is what Kano methodologies or Kano technique is all about. Okay, so these are the three prioritization technique I just listed down as part of today's discussion. If you have any other prioritization technique, and also I touched upon, if you remember, like during WSJF, I spoke about that relative estimation, right, where just the business value determination are done, and based on the, and you do a stack ranking, and you picked up the features or stories based on the highest business values item. Okay, so these are the prioritization technique which we normally use across the different agile projects. There are different other prioritization technique also. Just let me know if you want to have another video on those prioritization technique. Just let me know through comments. I'll try to make another video, and I hope this one actually is useful for you, right? So that's it pretty much. Thank you. Thank you, friends, for watching this complete video, and I hope you should be able to take back the essence of the discussion in your project also, and you should be able to apply some of the prioritization technique that we discussed, and that is where my success will be. Thank you once again, and see you soon with